When I learned this concept, it completely changed how I view the world and what I focused on. So, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Reticular Activating System or the RAS. It's basically like a satellite in your brain. And its job is to look for proof of whatever it is that you tell it. That's all that it needs to do. Is it needs to look for proof of whatever it is that you tell it. Okay, so an example of that would be if you are constantly telling yourself that you are not good enough, you'll never amount to anything, you have a lot of stress and anxiety, you are always fearing everything, your brain or your RAS is going to start looking for more proof of that. So it's going to keep looking for ways that make you feel like you are not good enough. Because remember, we have so much information flying at us at once. So your brain needs to decide what information is important and what can I discard. Also, what do I need to focus on? And you have the power to reprogram your mind to focus on the right things. But think about it, if you are constantly focused on the negatives all the time, and again, you are coming up against your things are not in your favor, because remember, your brain is wired to look for the negative first. So you have to actively reprogram your brain by changing the focus, by changing what the RAS is actually focused on. An example would be also if you all of a sudden notice a particular car, like you get a new car and then you start seeing that car everywhere. There's not all of a sudden more of those cars on the road. It's just that you have actually started focusing your attention more on that car. So you start seeing more of that car wherever you go. That's how the concept works. So, can you imagine if you were focused on positive thoughts, on lifting yourself up, on always telling yourself that you are calm, that you can handle any situation, you're not going to let your stress and anxiety get to you, you can manage, you can cope, your RAS is going to start looking for more proof of that. And I promise you, it's going to redirect your subconscious mind. It's going to start reprogramming it, because also this takes repetition. You've got to do this every single day, always looking towards a positive. A nice thing that you can start to do is to say to yourself constantly is, what do I like about this? What do I like? So instead of always thinking to the negative, it's, what do I like? Oh, I'm making a cup of coffee this morning. I love that. I love gratitude. Practice gratitude is all. I love my dogs. I love connecting with my family. Rather look to the things that you like, the things that you're grateful for. And that is what your RAS is going to start focusing more of. And when your RAS starts to focus on more of the positive things, it's going to alleviate your stress and anxiety a lot, because you are not always looking for the negative or the ways to bring yourself down, or all the ways that are telling you that you are not good enough, and that self-sabotaging behavior. So it's very important. We have to be so careful of what we focus our attention on, because that is what your RAS is going to constantly be doing. Be very, very careful of that. Okay, so I want you to think about, what are the things that you are focusing on mostly, and how can you start to focus on things that are going to start adding more value to your life, or things that are going to start making your life a little bit more positive, or maybe some positive goals, or setting up your environment, a more positive environment. So having, everything, priming your environment for success, things like that. Start leaning more towards the positive so that your RAS can follow suit and reprogram that subconscious mind.